welcome back. I'm here with a reaction video for you. So glad you chose to tune in. Before we go into this, if you're new here, kindly consider clicking subscribe, turn on your notifications to keep you up to date with every new upload. Also, please follow this channel's Twitter account and you will never miss another video. So let's go straight into this one. In 3, 2, 1, let's go.
From Disney comes the last film in this X universe to remind us that just like the human body, when a franchise dies, it itself. Dark Phoenix. Roll the dice on the latest X-Men joint, an IP that's given us the highest highs, the lowest lows, and the middlest mids. To revisit the Dark Phoenix storyline from X-Men 3, only this time, we really get to know Jean Grey. No? Not really? Okay, but we're exploring the cosmic potential of the Phoenix Force. No? After the intro, it's all on Earth? Okay, fine. We're finally seeing what a new creative team can do with this material. No? Same guy who wrote X-Men Last Stand, but now he's directing too? You know what they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and you could probably fool me again, because I like the cartoon and nerds are easy marks. Previously on X-Men. Just kidding, doesn't matter, because no one will explain how or why Magneto is a free man after the last movie, or how the X-Men have a hotline to the president after this happened, or why they keep skipping decades even though it puts these characters in their 50s now. 50s. But whatever, pretend this is the first one you've seen, and thrill as Jean Grey fights an evil space cloud. A monotone space alien.
If we can control that power, we can resurrect our race. Begin again.
And a consistent American accent.
I don't have a home. You made sure of that.
In a story that banks on you caring about a character who's barely on the screen before this. It's almost like focusing on Mystique for the last 3 movies was, now hear me out, a bad choice.
Mutant and proud.
Audience, and over it. See the core X-Men how you've come to expect them by now. Annoyed, bored,
There's always a speech, but nobody cares anymore.
and way too famous to sit for makeup. But they'll step aside to give the new mutants something to do. Or rather, these mutants. Like Cyclops, whose random F-bomb in a PG-13 movie is the closest he comes to a personality.
If you touch her, I will f***ing kill you.
Quicksilver, who's once again sidelined before his powers make everyone else pointless.
It just took him out of the equation.
Nightcrawler, who's gone from thriller fan to killer man.
Dang.
And Storm, who's been so conditioned to have nothing to do that she lets it pour rain at a funeral. Now the whole mansion is gonna smell like a wet dog. Gross. Ever wonder what it would look like if you got to make the next X-Men? Probably something like this.
Please.
Because this is the director's first movie, and he's spending $200 million on his student film, showing off exactly how superhero actors look if it's not handled with care and expertise. Morons. They look like absolute morons. Okay, Michael, pretend you're trying to open a jar with your mind. Sophie, you too. Harder. Harder. Push your hands out more. Way more. Don't worry, it'll look cool later. Oh man, I'm in way over my head. So press X to pay respects to the final terrible movie of the current X-Men franchise that you could blame on the writer-director failing upwards, or last-minute reshoots to make it less like Captain
I think it was
Marvel,
more
or the
that.
main cast wishing they were dead.
Now we're the only ones left.
Or you could choose to remember all the good times, forget this ever happened, and maybe try reading some X-Men comics instead. Did you know they made books out of all these movies? There's even pictures inside. Starring Lady Bird, Charlie and the Child Soldier Factory. Let's see them aliens. Old Magneto had a farm. X-Men Origins, Frasier. Quoth the Raven, please no more. Taserface. Gotta go fast. Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm not here to make friends. And the MCU stealing the X-Men? Oh, I get it.
Oh
X-Men
my, I
4,
did not-
X3, Take 2, The Last One.
Oh.
X-Men 4, X3, Take 2, The Last One. 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 X-Men 4 Jean did not have this much blood on her when she flew away. Whose blood is this?
Whose blood is it?
Now we'll...
Jean, did you kill Cyclops off screen again?
Oh my
Me
goodness.
Think, why waste time, say lot word, when few word do trick?
Now that we are questioned forever, whose blood was that? So guys, let me know what you thought about The Dark Phoenix. Did you enjoy it? And I've got to say, in my own personal opinion, though this film did cop some hate from some certain sections of the internet and some fans who wanted this arc to go quite differently, wanting it to be an epic space, battle sequence and having it be so small scale, I think that didn't work for some people. But in my own opinion, I've got to say that I did enjoy Dark Phoenix. I took it for what it was. It was them trying to wrap this all up. And, we've come to love these characters, especially I have loved James McAvoy and Fassbender in their respective roles. I'm gonna miss them to bits, and I would just love them to kind of be in the MCU, especially with what they did. And this is gonna be a mild spoiler. Actually, I'm gonna make it vague. What they did in Spider-Man Far From Home with that end credit scene, and the one I'm talking about. Would it be just so cool to see some of these characters kind of find their way in the MCU? That would be just a dream of mine. But there's so much potential, and I'm looking forward to see what Kevin Feige will do moving forward. But I've got to say, I loved. I enjoyed Dark Phoenix. I'm gonna say that I don't think it deserved all the hate that it got. And yes, let me know what you guys thought about the movie in the comments section, and let me know what you thought about this honest trailers. It was so funny. And as by the way, what they did with Quicksilver's arc and just pushing it off to the side, we are gonna forever wonder about that arc. I would have loved to see him confront his dad, Magneto, have that out. So that for me, it did not work for me, how they just swept that off to the side. This movie had its issues, and guys, I do think the whole Captain Marvel being up against it did factor into what they did in scaling down what we thought this movie should have been. I don't think they wanted it to be too similar to that film. So there was that and the reshoots. But for what it turned out being, I think I rather enjoyed the movie. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Once again, did you like this honest trailers? Did you love Dark Phoenix? Did it not work for you? Let's have that conversation in the comment section down below. Now, if you like this reaction, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, click subscribe. I'd love to see you here again, and I'll be on the lookout for more fun videos and reactions, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.